Alright, so if you missed it, I made a post yesterday on the changes to some of the product targeting sponsored display campaigns. So there was a notification inside of the ad console from Amazon recently, and there seems to be a little bit of confusion around this, so I thought a video was in order to help me better kind of explain what's happening. So one thing we're seeing with Amazon is a lot of changes to the sponsored display ads. We're getting a whole bunch of extra options when it comes to targeting. The thing is, with this particular update, it's simply a change to something that's already existing. So historically, what's been happening when we get changes to sponsored display ads or additional targetings, it's like an addition to what's already contained within sponsored display. It's like an add-on. This is not an add-on. This is a change to what is currently available. So what can possibly happen is you might be having these already running inside of your ad account, and because the targeting and how they will be displayed is going to change, that very much could cause some fluctuations in performance. Now it just remains to be seen how this is actually going to play out performance-wise. However, I do think it makes sense for me, again, to go over this more in depth. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about changes to product targeting campaigns. So inside of sponsored display, we have product targeting and we have audiences. Audiences can show up on and off platform, and historically, product targeting only shows up on platform. However, with this update, which is starting June 15th, there's going to be a change to how categories and similar to advertised products can be displayed inside of product targeting. So for those two targeting types, again, inside of, if you've picked product targeting, not audience targeting, those two categories and similar to advertised products have the ability, starting June 15th, to show up to shoppers off platform. Now this might create a bit of confusion because these options are already available inside of audiences. You can choose views repurchasing, or you can choose purchases remarketing inside of the audiences, and that would allow you to, again, serve up your ads to shoppers on and off platform. The way those ones are retargeted, though, is it shows up for people who have either viewed and not purchased the products, which is in the case of the views remarketing, or it can show up to shoppers who have purchased products within a certain look back window. Again, you can target categories or similar to advertised products in those cases. So it does in some ways have some possible overlap. However, from my understanding, if you're using product targeting categories or similar to advertised products, shoppers don't have to meet those two criteria. So they don't have to have viewed the detail pages, and they don't have to have a historic purchase of that product, which is the case if you're looking at the purchases remarketing inside of audiences. So this does very much broaden the audience that could possibly fall under these two targeting types, with the ability, again, to show up on and off Amazon. So it still may trigger specific shoppers, but just the placements for this ad type is going to rapidly expand. So I'm still a bit unaware if it's going to be able to show up on the homepage, because if you're targeting audiences, you can show up on and off platform. Audiences are kind of one of the only targeting types that would follow shoppers around and possibly show up on a homepage. So maybe categories and similar to advertised products instead of product targeting are going to be available for those placements. I haven't really seen any definitive literature on that. My guess is going to be yes. So that's a possibility. You possibly, in addition to showing up off platform, would get more expanded placements on platform as well, which previously were only available if you chose audience targeting. But like I said, this update is not an add-on, it's sort of a repurposing of what's already there. And so I think that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to make sure that everyone's aware of this, because again, if you already have this type of targeting in your account being used in your current campaigns, again, you may see fluctuations starting June 15th. Amazon is just saying like, hey, we want to make sure that you're able to target more shoppers. So they're seeing this as very much like, hey, you have more options to expand your brand. If that makes sense for you and your account, I will leave that up to you. But I just, I think it was helpful for me to kind of clarify what the difference is in this particular targeting type, because there seems to be a bit of confusion around this.